it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great.
Yes, cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Oh, Jesus.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical, Russ Belville.
All right.
Oh, those darn cartoons.
I know, we're having too much fun. Welcome to Toker Talk Radio. I'm Radical Russ.
And I'm Brian the Red.
In red. Or
in
crimson,
red.
I would say, maybe.
Well, yeah. This is
Maroon.
one of the handmade apparel hemp shirts. And this is, one of my Pink Leaf Project shirts. There are only, 2 made on hemp, but and I own them both. So
how many colors do we have?
We just have the black and the white.
The black and the white. You've got the red one.
Yeah, I've got the red and the blue and black and gray. Well, they're gray.
Because you're special.
Yep.
They were ones we have that we're going to
actually. Adam made these hemp ones up for me special for watching his booth at the last Hemp Fest there in Seattle.
Speaking of the booth in Hemp Fest,
oh my God.
It's going to be Dab Central, folks.
Holy frick on a stick! I am sorry to say this is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, if you come out to Seattle Hemp Fest, you visit us out there. We got handmade apparel, we got oil slick, we got Happy
Daddy products.
Happy Daddy. I keep wanting to say Happy Trails.
No, it's Happy Daddy, man. They got all those dabbers, those super dab tools. That
of course, 420 radio
awesome, and 420. Yeah, we got a 4-block. Just
it's going to be amazing.
Oh man,
looking forward to Seattle this year, and that may come at the end of my Effin' Normal tour.
The Effin' Normal tour.
Which, here's the deal, folks. I have started an Indiegogo account. Sam Chapman said, you got to do an Indiegogo. I'm like, okay. What's that? Because, I'm old and I don't know these things, right? I saw a headline today because, they're having the gay marriage debate in the Supreme Court, right?
Well, come on, you should have known about, Indiegogo. Isn't that who Sam Chapman used to get to...
That's what I'm saying. Sam Chapman turned me onto it, right? So they're having the gay marriage debate out there at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and I didn't even know about that whole equality symbol with the pink on red when I chose the shirt this morning. So there's, ironic timing for
Very
it.
good, yes. So. Actually, it worked perfectly for the Supreme Court, which is arguing, of course, the Prop 8 thing and the gay marriage thing. And one of the things that's going on, of course, is they got the Westboro Baptist Church out there, the God Hates Fags Church, right? Which I saw a great comment in Huffington Post that said, now they've become like the biggest ball of twine or the house in the rock. It's something that people now just want to get their picture taken next to. They're not even serious anymore. They're just a tourist attraction. Because what's happening is gay activists are having makeout sessions in front of the church, in front of these picketers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, a couple of guys,
Oh, you don't like this? Check this out.
Check it out. They start making out. A couple of girls. Oh, yeah, they'll start making out. So, everybody that's taking the photos of Westboro Baptist is getting photos with gay people kissing in them.
See, and I think it's funny because, it's like, I'm not gay, but I have gay friends, and I have nothing wrong with it, I mean, as long as they're not trying to do it with me, it's cool,
As long as anyone I don't want to do it with is trying to do it with me, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's
right. I'm an equal opportunity refuser.
Yeah, that's, Anyway,
they got the...
But that's, I think, hilarious because, it's a form of public protest, and more power to them, I think.
Yeah. So they got that going out down there at the Supreme Court, and I had a point that I was going to get to, but I totally forgot it. So
that's all my fault.
That's okay. But what I really wanted to get to was the tour, the Indiegogo tour that I'm doing. The 420 radio tour, and it's always been my dream to load up in a big rig, have it vinyled up with pro marijuana stats and facts and graphics, right? Mm-hmm. And tour the country, stop in some city, do my radio show with some view behind me, right? Like the way this bus is, it's one of those old TriMet things, so it's got the huge, plate glasses,
so
right?
Set up on a vista or near the city square.
Say I'm in St. Louis, right? I'd go and get some vista where you can see the arch in the background, right? Do the radio show, at the regular time. And then that night at whatever city arena, whatever, high school, I don't care where you put me, but I'll do a presentation. I'll do my, why we should legalize marijuana presentation. And I'll custom tailor it to your state. I'll find the stats for your state when I do my presentation, right? So this has been a dream of mine for years, and I think it's now time to do it, because this time between 2013 and 2016, I've always said is pivotal. Like
it's pivotal.
It's pivotal.
That was great. It was like a pitiful
pivotable.
Pitiful pivot.
It's pitiful, inevitable, pivotable.
Pivotable.
But it is a pivotal moment. Great, this is some silly weed, isn't it? Some silly weed.
Giggly weed.
There we go.
Giggly weed.
But it's a pivotal moment here that we've got in American history, and I really feel like, just bringing this talk and just the sheer, because you pull in with a big truck festooned with pot leaves and American flags and 420 radio into Tulsa, Oklahoma, you're going to get on the evening news.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and that's what we want. We want to travel around to all the different states and make this a public issue, because that's what it is.
So we will talk about this when we come back from break. I'm going to show you the fundraising account, give you some more ideas on the plans that are going down, what the schedule will be. It looks like a potential first opening leg of the tour, Ottumwa, Iowa, of all places. And I figure you start a legalization tour in Iowa, which has among the lowest pot smoking population. You're serious. We'll talk about it when we come back. Stick around.
You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
I'm Sub Cool from Team Green Avenger. At TGAgenetics.com, we are working on the leading edge of medical strains. Our strains are rigorously tested for THC, CBD, THCV, and other critical cannabinoids. Know your grow. Check out our genetic diversity at TGAgenetics.com, the home of Jelly Bean, Jack the Ripper, Vortex, and other award-winning cannabis strains.
That's Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad, or as the cool kids call it, GPGDS. All right, I don't know if the cool kids say that at all.
Oh, yeah, we don't know any cool kids.
I don't know any cool kids. Giant Panda.
Except everybody in our damn chat room.
Those are my cool kids. That's right. Kind of like Jerry's kids.
Oh, hey, CannaDad is in the chat room, and he just sent me a link.
Fantastic.
Let's see what he's got going.
I think they got new shirts or something.
Oh, no, it's a nice video here. I'm going to shoot that to Russ. So
yeah,
we
shoot
can
me that. We'll play that a little bit later, because I need some voice savers. So yeah. We'll get that in the second half hour here. But I did want to continue on this tour idea, because I got approached by the FNAs and Dallas Fort Worth Normal about doing the F and Normal tour, where they want to set up with the band and go to city, and have me kind of, I'm not exactly sure what I do. I MC present, whatever, backup bass player.
Opening act, get them riled up about cannabis.
I guess. Whatever it is, I'm ready to go for it, right? So they talk about this tour and it would start June 7th, I think, is 7th or 8th, something like that, when the Texas Normal Conference starts. So I've already had that kind of in the works. When I got contacted yesterday by Jeffro, not Jethro, but Jeffro, Jeffro420 on Twitter, who said, hey, could you come out for our event in southeastern Iowa? Turns out to be Ottumwa, Iowa. And I'm like, my standard offer is this. This has been ever since I worked for Normal, and it still applies. I will come to your event and speak and present and MC, anything you want me to do. I will come out to your event if you get me out there. You pay the expenses to get me there. You pay the expenses to put me up somewhere. And I'm not picky. If it's got a bed that's not, rotten and disgusting, I'm for it, right? A couch.
Yeah, we couch hop,
We'll couch out. We'll Motel 6 it. We're pretty easy going that way. And, throw some food my way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a lot, despite the appearance.
Or just get us a very, very large rental car, like a van or something.
Oh yeah.
And then that we can just stand there.
Whatever. we're pretty much expense only. Now, I would also like a speaking fee, and that speaking fee is on a sliding scale between $0 and $1,000. Wherever your organization can fit that, that's what I'll take. But really, this is about coming out and speaking to people. Now, If we're talking about some place in California or Michigan or Washington where you got dispensary money floating around, you can get some sponsors. Yeah, the fee ought to slide up a bit, right? But we're talking Ottumwa, Iowa, so I'm cool with that, man. You get me a plane ticket and a place to crash, and we're cool. Well, that's led me to think, instead of getting all these plane tickets all the time and flying out places, I ought to just have a rig, a mobile studio, and plan a tour, do a summer tour, and just go from place to place to place to place, and do shows, and film it, and report from the road, and talk to the people in flyover country, or the red states, or whatever the hell you want to call it, where marijuana is still a crime.
And something in me says that this is the perfect time. It was almost 1 year ago, 1 year ago from the summertime, that, we just departed from the original entity that was the show, and then started the independent Russ Belville show.
Yeah.
And you said at that point, well, we'll see where we'll be in a year.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we're still here.
We're still here.
Yep. You can't stop us, and that's just what we're gonna do. You're gonna keep on fighting. You're gonna roll on through the country. And,
I have no choice. I'm not qualified to work at 7-Eleven anymore.
Yeah. We can't pass a piss test.
Sorry.
I guess I'm just
not good enough for you.
I can't fix your computer for you because they say that my pee is not good enough.
So let me give you a link in the chat room here. It's I've got the short domain rad-r.us, so I use that a lot for my short link. So here it is. It's rad-r.us/420tour, all lowercase, and that'll take you to the Indiegogo page. You can pass it. And now, I understand if you can't donate, because I'm asking you guys for money all the time. You're probably already members of 420 Radio and stuff, so I totally understand. But spread this around to some people, send it out through your social network, send it out through Twitter. Here's the site. When you get there, there's an intro video where I'm kind of explaining, there's the Rad Russ 420 tour, right? And I kind of explain what the whole deal is, what I'm trying to raise money for. I've raised $25,000. I've raised 1/1000th of what I was looking for, but $25 out of the $25,000 goal. And there's different perks, right? And I'm doing that same spot, bronze, silver thing that I normally do. So $14 for bronze will add you to the show programs and the tour website. $42 for a silver sponsor will do the advertising, the tour website, show programs, and you get a tour poster. $142 for gold will get you a box ad on the tour and your logo on our tour t-shirts.
T-shirts and banner.
T-shirts. Well, the banner's the next level. 420 at the platinum sponsor. You get a 30-second ad, and you get, as we're out there on the road, dilithium sponsor. I have dilithium sponsors now at 1420.
My golly.
Yes, your dilithium sponsor, you get your logo on our photo curtain and our t-shirts and the posters and the promo materials.
Wow.
And lots of people can be taking their photos there and putting them on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So your logo will be in the photo curtain, right? And then Unobtainium sponsor level, and at Unobtainium at $4,200 sponsor, you get your logo, your company prominently featured on the wrap of the mobile vehicle,
on the van,
for the life of the vehicle, or until we change wraps, which will be a long time.
A long time, because it'll be a while before we get another Unobtainium sponsor.
And I'm going to be speaking to a couple of directors I know, one of whom lives across the street from me, and see about coming with and filming for a documentary of the tour. And if that happens, then you will also get producer credit in the
nice
on the movie.
See, and producer cred, you can throw that around everywhere.
Yeah. So and the thing is if you got a marijuana business, if you got some sort of, and we've already had some contact from a couple people that are ready to go with this. If you're a marijuana business, say on the West Coast, and you want to get, start getting your foot in the door in some of these other states that aren't so marijuana friendly, this will be the best possible way you can do it. A legalization tour where people, your customers are going to be coming out to see me speak, to see these bands play, getting their picture taken in front of a photo wall with your logo on it. They're going to put it on Facebook. They're going to have this. They're going to look back to it. This was so cool. This is my legalization tour. And so seed company, or so-and-so dispensary, or so-and-so clothing manufacturer, whatever it might be.
And it's going to get tagged, and people are going to like it, and it's going to be cool.
And better, if you're one of those Unobtainium sponsors, and we're driving all across the country, people on the freeways, people at the In-N-Outs and the rest stops, and all these people are going to see this van with the logo on it.
And when we roll into town, and when we're sitting in the town and doing our live shows, it's going to be just there in a public place. And when you roll into some place like Iowa, they're going to have the cameras ready. It's like, wait, what's that?
Hell is that?
Our helicopter sees some giant van covered with marijuana leaves. It's heading to our town?
I'll be parking a lot at Walmarts, too, because a lot of Walmarts will let you park overnight. We'll talk to the Walmart crowd. It'll be a lot of fun.
I don't know if we want to quite go there. Our audience isn't ready for faces of Walmart.
Faces of Walmart.
Or asses of Walmart.
Not the faces of Walmart.
Asses of Walmart. There's some dangerous shit out there. You got to be careful who you run into in Walmart. Man.
That's right.
I don't go to Walmart.
So if you're interested in sponsoring the tour, please let me know. You can also go to our contact form at 420radio.org. The default on the drop down now is right now, I want to help sponsor the tour. Any ideas, any help you can give. If you have in-kind donations, like you've got computers or anything that we might be able to use on the road, any sort of equipment.
Yeah, this laptop's getting pretty janky.
Laptop's starting to jank out, especially the USB on it.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to jank like hell.
Yeah.
And there might be, there's still I'm just in a furious, trying to get this
thought
done.
Storm.
Yeah, just so much stuff coming up here trying to get it done, but I feel like it's time, and it's something that needs to happen. So, there you go. There's the 420 tour. We'll be coming to the Midwest and the Southwest, and hopefully some of the South as well. And who knows, if this really takes off, it may become an annual thing. It may become I might be able to make it out to Boston for the Freedom Rally. Might be able to make it out to Madison for the Harvest Fest. To Austin, to Missouri for their events. I mean, I'm really excited about the possibilities here, and I hope that there's some folks out there, some investors who can help me make it happen and benefit each other, because your brand will get covered all over the country.
We already know that there are companies out there that are already being traded on the stock market, and they're cannabis community representatives. What we need is some of those people to come here and say, hey, we'll put our name on something. We want this to go around the nation, and that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for, big donations. If you know of a business, if maybe shoot a random email to somebody that we may not know,
And, they're saying, you got to be careful in these states, because they'll see your van, they'll profile you, target you. Hey, there won't be weed on it.
Yeah.
There will be no weed on the mobile studio.
That's the whole
fun
thing.
And I won't be smoking weed. One of the nice things about my job is wherever I go, people bring me weed. So, no, I'm not. And it's also going to be equipped with a security camera and DVR, 4 corners around the whole thing, forward, back, in the cab, and everything.
Yeah.
So I will have up to the minute, up to the second video evidence of my driving,
streaming
of what the cop is doing, and we will try. And if I get pulled over, we'll stream it live, people. They ain't gonna be messing around with 420
we'll flip
radio,
the switch, and it's like, oh, hi,
officer, you're on.
You're on our live show. I can't wait for that moment.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, that would be freaking hilarious.
Hey, it's 4:20 out here in the Pacific time zone, and by law, we are required to up our nanograms per milliliter. So up yours.
Mandatory.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
Let him bring in the beat. Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio, The Russ Belville Show, Ganja John, and Cascadia Concentrates, among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Adam's meticulous designs are individually crafted and screened in vibrant, high-definition color. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org. Let him bring in the beat.
Jamaica, Holland, America, how we see him one? Where we come from? Hey, Ganja Yard, that's where I'm from. Ganja Yard, that's why I split them so long. Ganja Yard, that's why me Charlie's always wrong. Ganja Yard. Life I tell them, better bring a whole heap of weed, no matter bring no little bit. No little piece of weed they can't build a brick split. Man, I agree with me one down in a me chalice. When me bunny thing go lift me iris. Hey, black warrior him turn to the east and bless it. If you don't have no food, let me advise you left it. Man, I agree with me, you have down your abon. If you lick it one hungry belly, it will lick you down. Ganja Yard, that's where I'm from. Ganja Yard, that's why me split them so long. Me come from Ganja Yard, that's why me chalice always ram. Ganja Yard, Ganja Yard. Well, me have me knife, me say it's sharp and bevel. Me have it off the cut up the green vegetable. Then when me have me chalice, me not laugh and giggle. Say the rungs a crush up the weed in a him and middle. Weed it a bun and me say pot it a bubble. Babylon come round, you must get trouble. Weed man a plant up in the hills in the struggle. And some carry gang and smuggle. Cause we come from Ganja Yard, that's where I'm from.
Welcome back, everybody. 23 after the hour, and we received news from one of our longtime listeners and good friend TrixterPhillips from our chat room that one of our warriors, one of our fighters for freedom here, Ken Unger, has passed away. He's got some pages up on Kenneth Unger at TrixterPhillips.wordpress.com. I'll let him put the link up in the chat room. Basically, he was a handicapped vet fighting for medical marijuana, was going to trial, was facing a minimum of 15 years in prison, a maximum of 30 years in prison. I wanted to play this video from Kenneth Unger in his own words as a tribute.
So that's the St. Charles County Jail, huh, Ken?
Right. You can't even see out of those little windows. Can't even get close to them.
Those little windows, those are jail cells?
Yeah.
Jeez, what was that like?
It's a nightmare with red training wheels. My name is Ken Unger. I'm from Bridgeton, Missouri. I live now in O'Fallon.
Why don't you give us a little history about yourself and how you came to become injured?
I was in the Navy during 2 tours at Beirut and the war that occurred in the Grenadian Islands. I was on board one of the ships that landed the Marines. I was ordered on top of our flight deck to assist with moving a river patrol boat, Davit.
What ship were you on?
USS Fort Snelling, LSD-30. The hook of the crane was resting on the boat davit, but we thought it was locked in place. But when we pushed the boat davit, the hook came swinging down, hit me in the head, knocked me out against the grating. By 1989, I had a back problem so severe that I had to have surgery done on it, and it just continued to degenerate. As the condition increased, they increased the amount of opiate therapy that they were giving me to the point where I was taking 60 milligrams of morphine, plus I was also taking 550 milligram tablets of hydrocodone.
Must have been hard to function.
It was impossible to function, and being a father of a little boy, I needed to have my wits about me. Not only did I need to have my wits about me, but I needed my patience, both of which are taken from you when you're on opiates for a long time. Plus, I was sick every morning of the year, throwing up, cramps that had a Richter scale rating. It was a living hell. My poor son would come in the house never having any clue on what mood I might be in. Am I going to start yelling at him for no apparent reason or what? He watched me have 3 heart attacks, and the last one, I just couldn't live with it anymore. I just couldn't live with the endless pain, the never-ending side effects, and the weakness. I had to do something. I started growing just for myself and only for myself. I never made any money whatsoever off of my grow. Never was looking for any money. All I was looking for was to hold back the cost that it cost me to just keep in medicine.
Well, tell me specifically, how did cannabis benefit you as far as your problems that you were having?
Well, I suffer from chronic pain and I suffer from depression. The chronic pain, the cannabis would relieve the pain and hold back that edginess that you get when you're always in pain for up to 4 hours. And there's nothing that compares to the relief I got from cannabis. As far as the depression goes, it was almost like an instant stop to the depression. I mean, when you're chronically ill all the time, and you tend to get depressed very easily because your life is going from one doctor to the next doctor, and there's never any end to it in sight. You're always fighting for how you're going to feel the next day.
Well, what led up to the arrest?
In 2007, my son was playing on the playground at the Emke grade school. Supposedly, he said to one of his friends that he couldn't find his parents because they were in the plant room. This was supposedly overheard by a teacher who then told it to the DARE officer. At 10 o'clock at night, the DARE officer showed up at our house, pounding on the door, waving a release form in my wife's face, telling her that she needed to sign this so that he could search the house, because he had heard that we were growing marijuana out of this house. Despite what the officer says, my wife was nothing but polite to him, and her name was never Kenneth Unger. That's what it says in the indictment, that he met me instead of my wife. He went away at that point in time. This is 2007, and I guess he just sat on this report until 2010. He never acted upon it until September 9th.
So now, okay, you said he presented a paper to your wife and asked for her to sign it, giving him permission to search. Did he search your home?
No, we didn't allow him to search it.
Didn't allow him to. I see.
We told him that he had to have a search warrant, but we never told him to get the hell off of our property, which is what he states.
And that was 2007. Now, 2010, he decides to do what?
I guess he decided to pursue it. I don't know if they were watching us the whole time or what the deal was, but I never had any foot traffic coming through my house. It was just me, my wife, and my friends.
Let's make this very clear here. Yours was a very small grow, specific and only to providing medicine for you.
Right.
Correct?
And I consumed every bit of what I grew.
Mm-hmm.
I did not sell it on the street corner or anything else. I was using it purely for the medical relief of a pain relief that it gives me.
Okay, so what happened in 2010?
September 9th, 2010, the St. Charles County Drug Task Force showed up at my house. I was downstairs, so they just apparently walked in. My door was unlocked. I came up the stairs. My dog was howling a little bit because somebody had just walked into our house. I got to almost the top of the stairs when I realized the police were there, and I was telling them, begging them, hey, I'm a handicapped man. I have a bad back. I have a massive hernia on the front of my stomach. I live in pain. Please do not throw me to the ground. And at that point in time, they threw me to the ground and handcuffed me. Put me in a chair. I cited my right to remain silent, and apparently that seemed to aggravate Detective Hill. He kept asking questions and citing that I was rude and impolite for not speaking up to the other officers as they came marching in.
What is this officer's name?
Detective Hill. So, he kept on asking me questions, so I cited him my Geneva Convention rights. I mean, I consider myself a prisoner of war, prisoner from the drug war. So I gave him my name, rank, and serial number. And he got real angry and then had an officer drag me out of my home. No shoes, no medications, no diabetes test kit, no nothing. Just dragged me completely out of my home.
Now they realized that you were a diabetic.
I told them that.
I told them that you were, and they still did not recognize that. Okay.
I wasn't allowed any of my medications until the next day. I am on a strict regimen of blood pressure medications as well as blood thinners, and of course the diabetes medications to maintain my blood sugars. None of that was allowed to me. When I got to county, I explained to them that in a cost-cutting measure, the VA gives me medications that I have to break in half. I told them that I only got half a tablet of my blood sugar medication as well as my blood thinners. They just would say, shut up and take your pills. So I spent the first full week of my detention in the county hypoglycemic, sweating, heart rate racing. I mean, I've already got heart damage.
How long did you end up spending in the jail?
14 days. That was the first time that my wife could come up with enough money to get me out of jail. You see my house and everything, but we've got bills to match everything you see. We were not sitting on any lump sum of money, and nor did we have any equity in our home anymore to use for lawyers or fines or whatever else. So we're just out here stuck midair.
I understand that Ed Rosenthal's Green Aid is coming to trying to help.
Green Aid has been a light in a darkened tunnel, I swear to God.
Great organization, isn't it?
Yes, they went to bat for me as well as Arlene Williams when I was at my most hopeless. The truth is, I've got a lawyer who's pushing at me to accept whatever deal the prosecutor offers, even though I've explained to her that meant 5 years without my medication because they're offering me 5 years probation with 90-day drug test. That means no relief, no pain relief whatsoever for 5 years. I'm sorry, it was too much for me to deal with. It's too much for them to ask of me. I will relocate to Colorado, but I can't deal with 5 years probation. I can't deal with more time in jail.
So you need your cannabis. You need your cannabis to supplement for pain relief. You need your cannabis to help you titrate your pharmaceuticals.
I need my cannabis to just be a man, just to relax enough to be a human being. Otherwise, I'm a basket case. I cannot go back to being a morphine addict. I did that for 16 years. It was a living nightmare, and I cannot go back to that. I spent 99.9% of the time sick as a dog, throwing up, cramps, endless constipation.
All side effects from the opiates.
All side effects from the opiates. I've got major bypasses for some of my arteries because of the thickening of my blood due to the opiates. I cannot survive another 16 years of morphine addiction. I cannot survive another 2 years of morphine addiction. And despite what anybody thinks, I mean, it's a living death.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Rest in peace, Ken Unger.
It's simply business. It's simply business. It's simply business. You know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
It's simply business. It's simply business. It's simply business. You know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business. It's simply business. You know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
I'm John Bon Jovi, and I've been given a script to talk to you about drugs, rock and roll, having fun, a good time, and all that good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, drugs is not a part of my everyday routine. It's not everyday fun. It's not good for you. All right, so listen, think twice before you do drugs, because there ain't no winners out there doing it.
That's right. It's Big Daddy spinning the stacks of wax all night long over at the Funky Roller Rink, baby. Come on by.
Welcome back, everybody. 40 after the hour. That's music from Chief Green Bud, Without Weed. And, you know, we smoke weed and we enjoy weed, and it's a lot of fun and everything. But there's a lot of people for whom going without weed is going in pain or severe nausea or seizures or spasticity or something terrible that makes life, you know, not even worth living sometimes. The pain can be so bad. So that was the story of Ken Unger, a U.S. Navy vet, and out of Missouri. TrixterPhillips sent us the video from him. He just passed away. And but there is some good news out of this story because he passed away a free man. And we have this follow-up video that Trixter just sent us that I wanted to throw into the mix as well. So this is courtesy TrixterPhillips in our chat room. Ken Unger, a free man. Let's roll that.
Arlene Williams, the Ganja Granny, here on the phone with us. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, are we on air?
Yes, we're on the air, live.
Oh, we're celebrating. We're having a celebratory dinner here and toasting Ken. We're so happy it worked out like it did. It was a struggle. 2 years, 2 months, in 4 days.
And tell us exactly what happened, Arlene.
You know, so pardon?
Tell us exactly what happened.
Well, all right, I'm going to put him on. He's sitting here at the table. It was, the only disappointment I had was there were barely, no one was there. I worked hard trying to get supporters. In the end, there was 2 people came. One was the president of Normal, and
the National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws.
Yeah. And tell us the good news.
What's the good news?
I'm putting Ken right on, and he's going to explain.
Oh, Ken's joining us.
Great.
We're happy as we could possibly be under the circumstances. It was bittersweet.
And we're going to speak with Ken Unger in a moment.
Let us talk to Ken now.
Okay, hold on a moment.
All right. We're speaking with Arlene Williams and Ken Unger, who's on trial right now, a medical marijuana case outside of St. Louis, Missouri. And hello, Ken.
Hello?
Can you hear us? He's calling us from outside of St. Louis right now.
Hello?
Yes, Ken Unger. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hi, Ken. You're on the air.
You're on the air live.
Hello?
You're on the air live, Ken.
Hello, everybody. I'm grateful to be able to talk to you today.
Fantastic. Tell us what happened today.
Well, I had to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges. I got a $300 fine for each of the misdemeanor charges.
So that's a big change from a felony.
Yeah, well, they wanted me pleading guilty to a felony and a 5 years probation.
So what was the sentence in the end that you did receive?
I pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges, one of possession of 35 grams and below, and one misdemeanor of paraphernalia. A total of $300 or $600 fine.
Oh wow! I'm sorry you had to.
Fine.
I'm sorry you had to pay anything.
Fantastic! Really, a $300 fine compared to what it could have been for Ken Unger. That is really good news. At least he got to be with his family at the end, which is a lot better than being in a jail cell. We have another video, this coming to us from CannaDad in our chat room, also known as CannaDad, Brave Michaela's dad, I should say. And this is Cannabis Prohibition, Enough is Enough, Stand Up.
rising on the sea. We ain't never felt what it means to be free. Bankers born to rob us, politicians born to lie. You get burned, and then you acting all surprised. It's all so much to shout about. I'd rather get drunk or live on expenses till my soul is broken up. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. March for freedom, march for your rights. By any means necessary, stand up and fight. When the rich get rich, they don't even try. It's in the name of freedom, but it's just another lie. When times are hard, you can lay down and die, or join together now. Throw your fists right in the sky. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Together we stand, divided we fall. Fight here united and make change for us all. The only way for certain is to share out the wealth. The rich man's at his day, let's put him on the shelf. Join together, black and white, brothers and sisters, throw your fists right in the sky. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up now, darling. People of the world, we have to unite for the flame of love. We have to ignite, wipe away the poverty, wipe away the greed. I'd rather die on my feet than live here on my knees. Time has come, choice is here. Open up your arms, we ain't got nothing to fear. I say stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Great video there, CannaDad there. With cannabis prohibition, enough is enough, stand up. You can follow CannaDad on Twitter at CannaDad and find the blog at cannadad.blogspot.com.
And also check out their website, bravemichaela.com.
And this is what 420 Radio is all about. I'm so glad we're getting people to contribute things and you know, put together videos and have channels and podcasts. That's always been the idea. Let's have the voices, so it might seem self-aggrandizing to say, the voice of the marijuana nation, but yeah. I mean that in a delivery sense. Yeah, in a broader sense, in like the deliverer of the messages, the enabler of the voice, right? It's like, let's get us all, we're all one voice. It's the voice of the marijuana nation. That's not just me. Yeah, that's all of us.
Yeah, the voice that's just being relayed through the speaker. And Russ is the Speaker of the House for the cannabis community.
Come to order! Come to order!
He is definitely the Speaker of the House for the cannabis community, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know, that's why I sit here. You know,
does
one
that
of the
give me a
reasons.
raise in any way? Do I get?
Oh no,
do I get
there's no
congressional
money
perks
involved.
like free health care and pensions and
There's
stuff?
never any money involved in the
well,
cannabis.
Screw
No.
that. I don't want the gig.
Well.
All right, let me get to a story just to lighten things up a little bit, because one of the things I like to focus on the show is just how ridiculous the drug war is. Right? It leads to ridiculous things that. Well, let me just read you the story. This is from the UK. Of course, if we're going to talk ridiculous drug war.
Oh, let's go to the best reefer madness.
Got to go to the UK.
Across the pond.
Yeah, all right. So here it is from metro.co.uk. A drug dealer was ordered to write a 5,000-word essay on why cannabis is bad after claiming a shoulder injury stopped him from doing community service. This is
oh, wow. Hold on a second.
It's like, this is my junior high English teacher is now administering justice in the UK. I have to write a 5,000 word. But that's weird enough, right?
No,
it gets weirder.
No, yeah, I figured that there was different. There's got to be some other reason. That didn't seem so weird to me.
Are you ready for more weird?
I'm ready.
Okay.
This is Portland. Bring it on. Shit.
No kidding. You got to really raise the bar for weird. All right. Terry Bennett has to compile a dissertation on the dangers of drugs before next Tuesday or face 12 months in jail.
Oh, crap.
I asked the judge if I could write an argument for and against cannabis, but he said since it is illegal, I should only write about the bad.
Oh, my Lord.
So not only do you have to write a 5,000-word essay, you can only write about what we want you to write, the bad stuff. All right. So he continued, I'm just going to write about certain dangers caused by cannabis that people might not necessarily know. Okay, let's help them, right? You need to write Look, I write every day. I probably write about 5,000 words a day. And I know that it takes a lot to get to that 5,000 word mark. So let's help them out by coming up with some demonstrable dangers of cannabis that we could tell the Crown Court. This is the Crown Court in, where's that? Bristol. The Bristol Crown Court. Here it is. I've got one for you. Number one, if your friend is baling cannabis on the second floor of the loft and a bale were to fall off the loft and you were walking under it, it could cause severe damage to you.
That's a good one.
All right, you got one?
I do. You could be, let's see here. You could be walking down the street with, a good amount in your possession, and some officer could stop you and say, hey, wait now, I smell something funny. What you got in your bag there, sir? And that could, potentially lead to, some harm in incarceration.
Oh, there we go. That's one. I got one. If you are smoking joints with your friend, and he passes you the joint, and you're not paying attention, and put the lit end in your mouth, you could burn your tongue.
Oh, that is.
There's a harm from cannabis.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. Well, this is a more recent one. It deals with some of those more unintelligent of the stoner community. You could have a idiot friend who is in your room next door blasting cannabis tubes without your knowledge, and he fails to mention that his room is slowly filling with butane or some other solvent which is highly combustible, and you go to light a bong hit.
There you go. That's some possible
causing some inflammatory destruction.
We'll have to go to the judges. Is that a harm from cannabis? Or let's see. No, I'm sorry, not a harm from cannabis. Is it a harm from butane? There we go.
Harm from stupidity, I think.
Stupidity
actually.
might be. Yeah, stupidity. There we go. All right. So let me see. Drug war end stole my next one. If you suck too hard on the bong, you might drown.
No.
True. Judges.
True.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Right. Harms from cannabis for 800, Alex.
Let's see here. You could live in a state, that if you don't have your cannabis, it could kill you.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
You. That's true. Let's see. Harms from cannabis.
Well, actually, that'd be like a harm from lack of cannabis.
That could be too. Let's see. Harms from cannabis. If you ate a kilo of cannabis, you could rupture your stomach.
That's true. That's true. Here's one. If you're at a nice, cushy, high-paying job and you happen to get a promotion offer and you've used cannabis and they happen to test you for your drug, of choice, then that could cost you your, could cost your friends, could cost your job, could cost, incarceration, could cost many other things.
Yes. That judges are approving. We've got a few from the chat room here. Jam Band says you could get a paper cut on your tongue while rolling a J.
Highly unlikely unless you're using like craft paper or something.
Those blank papers in the back of the Gideon Bible.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Fink says you could burn your fingers. Figures. He meant fingers. You could burn your fingers trying to relight the joint that just won't stay lit.
Oh, here's one. You could accidentally burn your mustache while trying to relight the joint.
Ah, there we go. Yes.
Yes, but that doesn't harm much, it just kind of smells funny.
Okay. So there you go. There's some of our examples of...
he should be able to come up with 5,000 words out of what
I think 5,000 words. Yeah, out of that, he should be all right. And then I wanted, before we go, just take a slight detour outside of marijuana for a second to pass along an amazing article in Alternet from one of my favorite writers, Jim Hightower. Love his stuff, and I'm going to get this posted into the chat room as soon as I can find that window. There we go. It says, article from Jim Hightower, and I tweeted it out as, while we've been paying so much attention to the Second Amendment, the corporations have taken our Seventh. Right? Your Seventh Amendment is the right to a fair trial, right?
Yep.
And the header here is, the ballooning number of corporate kangaroo courts is destroying our right to a fair trial. If you've been gouged by your bank, discriminated against, sexually harassed, unfairly fired, you'll most likely find that you're barred from the courthouse door. And it all has to do about binding mandatory arbitration. It's all these arbitration things that, you sign all these things that you see online where you're saying check terms and conditions. Yep. I agree.
Yep.
When you're signing up for something, on a piece of paper with some corporation for something, somewhere in the fine print, you're submitting, in a lot of these cases, to binding arbitration, which, Hightower writes, unlike courts, arbitration is not a public system, but a private business. Far from being neutral, third-party arbitration firms are, get this, usually hand-picked by the corporation involved in the case, chosen specifically because they have proven records of favoring the corporation. The corporation also gets to choose the city or town where the case is heard, allowing it to make the case inconvenient, expensive, and unfair to individuals bringing a complaint. Oh, you're in Portland and you got a complaint against our company? Well, we'll just take the case to Klamath Falls.
Yeah, or to Florida.
Or to Florida. There we go. Arbitrators are not required to know the law relevant to the cases they judge or follow legal precedents. They get to make that up as they go along.
Yeah, that's
normal procedural rules for gathering and sharing evidence and safeguarding fairness to both parties do not apply in arbitration cases. So the corporation can gather a bunch of evidence, and normally in public court, you get discovery, you get a copy of all the evidence they gather. You don't get that in arbitration.
It's arbitrary.
Arbitration proceedings are closed to the media and general public. Arbitrators need not reveal the reasons for their decisions, so they are not legally accountable for errors, and the decisions set no legal precedents for guiding future corporate conduct. Even if an arbitrator's decision is legally incorrect, it is still enforceable, carrying the full weight of the law, and there is virtually no right to appeal an arbitrator's ruling. This is a kangaroo court. It's a rigged system, folks. And Public Citizen found that, They found that 34,000 consumer versus bank cases in California, that the arbitrators sided with the financial giants 95% of the time. In the city of San Francisco, 18,000 cases brought by banks and other powers against California consumers. The judges sided with the corporations 100% of the time. 18,000 cases. So check that link out. Give you a little broader picture as to what's going on with the drug war. That's all the time we got here for Toker Talk Radio. Thanks for joining us. Coming up next, a replay of A Different View. Coming up at 7 o'clock, special time, Red Eyes Reggae Flashback. 2 hours tonight, 7 to 9. So check that out. For Brian the Red, I'm Radical Russ. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, take care of each other, Tokers.
We love you.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.